So yeah, Noble's had a nap. I've had 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, I've had sleep as well. Yeah, I've had sleep.
Oh, we're dangerous. We're dangerous this week. We're well slept, wide awake.
What's the plan this evening, Brain?
Same thing we do every day, PG.
No, same thing we do every week, guys. Talking about Destiny.
Welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show dedicated to bringing you the latest intel, the mightiest news, and the boldest opinions from the farthest reaches of the Sol system. Whether you're a bright-eyed new Guardian, fresh from the Cosmodrome, or a battle-hardened veteran of the Red War, this is your Destiny destination. We'll arm you with tips, tricks, and tower-worthy tools to help you triumph, thrive, and revel in the glory of the fight. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
So yeah, welcome to the Two Titans and a Hunter. And you have to just guess which one of us has turned into a hunter this week, because yeah, that's how it goes.
We take turns. Every week we draw straws and someone is the hunter.
Yep.
It's always a short straw.
Noble's back, Peroty's back, and I, Nitedemon, I'm back.
You never go anywhere.
I do.
You're always here. Even when you say you're not going to be here, you're here, lurking in the background.
No, sometimes I do have holidays and I'm not here.
So like he's the hunter this week.
Yeah.
Lurking in the shadows, watching, waiting, commiserating.
Ready to shoot you in the back.
So, Destiny this week. No events. No events next week. And we had no events the previous week. But I did watch a Houndish video this week which explained that Bungie did come out and say that they know that there was no event and it was meant to be an event this week for Arms Week, and now it's been pushed back an even extra week until the end of January. So we know that now. And I was pretty hopeful that we were going to get Arms Week next week. So I'd written out everything else for, like, did my light.gg deep dive and had a look at all the weapons and all the different things that's going to be available. And then they just came out and told us in the 12, and I was like, well, at least I've done that. You know, so I'm ahead of my game for the following week.
Man loves making work for himself.
No, I had a spare hour and I thought I'm just going to sit down, because just in case they turn around in the 12 this week and go, haha, it's next week. I'm like, I'm prepared. I'm ready to drop that video on Sunday night, and everybody will know that I was ahead of the game. And I'm even more ahead of the game now.
To be fair, they had to put it in the TWAB this week anyway, didn't they? Because if they didn't, my God, what would they have put in the TWAB?
They don't have to put anything in the TWAB. I mean, as evidenced by, honestly, this week and last week. They're like, listen, we're here. They're like, listen, you got a patch. They could have just reposted the patch into the TWAB and called it good. Been like, listen, here you go.
This is what you're getting.
Oh yeah, I was pretty shocked that we even got a patch this week, because I wasn't prepared for that.
It's post holidays, so you know all the things that they've been looking at and working on the last month or so. They're like, I guess we should probably go ahead and push this patch out. At least fix that batch of things. And people can be mad about a different batch of things.
Yeah, of course.
You're telling me that slowly the food coma's starting to wear off.
What food coma? What, the Christmas coma?
Yeah, the Christmas food coma is slowly starting to wear off, so things are slowly starting to happen. So when you finally drag yourself up off the couch to go and do the washing up, it takes you a minute, but you get there.
But what's the status of the cabinet? Is the cabinet still secured? Are there still treats?
I wasn't going to ask.
There are still treats. It's still locked.
There you go.
It's on a first come, never need to be served basis.
First come, first denied basis.
Yeah. So we now have stopped asking. Anyway, Destiny 2 update 9.5.0.5 in Renegades. They have fixed an issue where the mission Welcome to the Frontier could sometimes softlock when returning to the hangar under poor network conditions. So they're calling you out for having slow internet, basically. They fixed an issue where claiming engrams from the Syndicate Quartermaster generated an empty engram in the wrapped items section of the inventory screen.
Hope you're hungry for nothing.
Yeah. They fixed an issue where claiming rank up rewards engrams from the Syndicate Quartermaster require the Witch Queen ownership. So they fixed that. You don't no longer need to have Witch Queen. You can just be Witch Queen free. And they fixed an issue where the players logging into multiple characters of the same class in 1 week could progress or lose Syndicate weekly shipment progress. So that will teach you, all those people that were just a hunter, just hunters all the way down. You need other classes. Salari's Mercenary Triumph is now tracked per account, not per class. And players must log in once on each class for previous earned progress to be counted. And reduce the number of Guardian multi-kills required for the Knock 'em Down Triumph to 5, previously 15. In the Lawless Frontier, they fixed an issue where certain smuggler encounters could be blocked from completion if relic items were accidentally dropped in the inaccessible locations. Fixed a rare issue where smugglers' runs could softlock at the start of the exfil. I think I had that. I was playing on my Warlock this week, and I started this mission, and it's the mission, where you have to get on... Yeah, you get on the little speeders and you destroy all the walkers on the ice. And I'd gone round and I'd killed all the Cabal and I'd destroyed all the walkers. And I thought, hang on a minute, I'm sure there's a whole thing that I have to shoot the walkers with this little strand rockets that tangle them. And then I can only shoot them with the rockets. And then I can get on the speeder bike and then I can use the speeder bikes to do the same thing. That never appeared. I was able to go around, kill all the walkers, kill all the Cabal. And I spent like about 20 minutes just going around the map going, I'm sure I need to trigger something here for it to all kind of kick in. Nothing. And I was like, I'm just going to have to restart that mission again. So.
Yep. Something should happen. And that's when you start looking around going, is there a button I need to press? Is there something I need to do? It's like, no, the next part has just decided not to participate with you today. Sorry.
Restarted it and came back in and killed the Cabal, and all the walkers were all shielded like they should have been. So. They weren't shielded when I went in. So yeah. Fixed an issue in sabotage activities where sniping or killing initial antenna holders extremely fast would cause the encounter to not progress. They fixed an issue in the Venus Grotto Double Cross Arena where some invaders could hide from other teams at the top of the PvP dome. They can't hide anymore. Fixed a rare bug where the invasion teleporter remains open and allows invaders to reuse and return to the ready room to collect rewards. Fixed an issue where the non-invader walkers would sometimes not have correct damage reduction. Fixed an issue where combatants could teleport inside the sabotage objectives with shields and become unreachable. Fixed a visual issue where forging Matrix Europa sabotage would display a description for bounty hunt activities. Raids and dungeons. Equilibrium, they reduced the cooldown and increased the damage for Shadow Power to improve its utility. Fixed an issue where the Shadow Power tutorial would continually resurface on alternate characters. Fixed an issue where the Harrow Apprentice would not pursue players and not progress the encounter. Fixed an issue where the Harrow Apprentice shields could not be removed to begin a second DPS phase. Fixed an issue where the Shadow Power pool's visual state was incorrect. Fixed an issue in the final encounter where some pools in the Shadow Realm were granted less Shadow Power than intended when gathered quickly after teleporting in. Fixed an issue allowing sunspots and killshot mods to break the taken captain's immunity shield intended to require Shadow Power. Fixed an issue where the third puzzle would not reset correctly after a failed completion attempt. In the Desert Perpetual, they fixed an issue where the laser attacks from Korgos was not activating as intended. Fixed an issue where players would not be granted Death Defiant 2 Triumph upon completing the Desert Perpetual Epic Raid without any fireteam member dying or returning to orbit. In the Portal, they've increased the activity timer in the Master Conquest Derealized, increased the starting number of revive tokens available in higher difficulty arena ops and higher difficulty match-made playlist fireteam ops activities, fixed an issue where the Helostat Pinnacle op with the name of the Scion Protection buff were not displaying, fixed an issue where the Grandmaster Vanguard alerts were not available in the fireteam finder. In Crucible, we have fixed an issue where the Crucible ops match completion did not contribute to the Be Greater weekly objective. Fixed an issue where Trials of Osiris Lighthouse chests would not award shaders as intended. Fixed an issue that allowed players with an active PvP restriction to still access Trials of Osiris. Ooh, that's a dodgy one. Fixed an issue where lobby balancing was enabled in Trials of Osiris. Good, because there was a lot of complaints about that. Fixed an issue where the latest Trials of Osiris Ghost Shell was unobtainable for some players. So now it's obtainable for some other players. Yeah. Gameplay and investment. Exotic armor. The armamentarian for the Titans fixed an issue where the grenade throws with this exotic equip were not reloading heat-framed weapons. Warlocks. The Matadoxia fixed an issue where the suspending burst from the stylistics could chain indefinitely. This weaver settles once more. Weapons, exotic weapons. We've got Service of Luzaku, fixed an issue causing the Threadling Nest to lose health more quickly in some activities. Threadling Nest's lifetime should now not change from activity to activity. Wishkeeper, fixed an issue where the ensnaring lines were not generating when hitting a target directly. Praxic Blade, fixed an issue where players could activate the Hyperblade perk without guarding as intended. Weapon perks, fixed an issue where the accelerated assault origin trait would lose ammo on burst weapons. Fixed an issue where the gunshot straight perk was doing more damage than intended to divinity cages. Question pursuits, fixed an issue where the solo op step of exalting the frame, taming the storm, and into the abyss new light quests could not be completed on difficulties higher than advance. And in general, they fixed an issue with the Digi-Teal shader that resulted in different shaders of cyan being applied when compared to the rest of the Aquamarine Assistance Pack content. Fixed an issue in the Eververse archive where the Oracular Weapon ornament for the conditional finality incorrectly displayed it, requiring players to have reached the lighthouse. Fixed an issue where the final cinematic in the Final Shape campaign lost some visual effects. And that is what they have fixed for you this week.
There we go. The Trials lobby balancing one, I was a little confused by. So do we not want lobby balancing? Do we want lobby balancing? I was very confused when they were like, the balancing has been turned on. We should turn that back off. I'm like, but shouldn't it be kind of balanced or no? I've lost all track of where, other than if you don't go in with 3 people, you're not going to shower with rewards. But I've lost all track of what the quote balancing and matchmaking and everything else is at this point.
I think it's card based. I think that's what they went back to, but I could be wrong because, like you said, I've lost track as well. But I think it was basic. I think it was based on your skill and your card. So that's why sometimes if I'm on a higher card and then I'm joined by other people, it then makes it a lot harder for them to kind of get their first couple of wins. So it's always best to kind of reset and start back everybody at the base of nothing.
Yeah, everyone on equal footing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw that and I was like, I feel like Bungie could say like a few more words around that. Like, hey, this has been turned back on. And because just again, on its, if I were just, again, reading this going, oh, the balancing is turned on, we should turn that back off. I'm like, but don't we want some balancing? But yeah, I guess not if we're just looking at cards or connection or whatever it is and whatever they claim it is this week. Again, my experiences have been we go in with 3 people and we play the other 3 people currently playing because we just seem to hit the same teams over and over again because, I had trouble. I haven't played much this week, but I've had trouble getting matches made in Mayhem. It just sits there trying to find enough people. And I'm like, if Mayhem can't find enough people, what are my hopes for anything else?
I'm so confused.
That's all right. So are the rest of us.
At no point during all of that did Demon say, right, let's start the show. And he generally always says that, and then we do that a bit. And
I did. I welcomed people to the show. I introduced you guys, and then that was it. Why are you confused?
Oh, yeah, you did. I forgot about that. Never mind. I've been sat there trying to read that, and I was like, you didn't do the welcome to the show bit. What's going on? I'm sure he didn't do it. I'm positive he didn't do it.
I think that nap may have been too good. That nap took you all the way out.
It maybe did, to be fair. Or maybe I just did that for long enough, I'm not sure. But
yeah,
I remember him saying it now. Shh, we'll pretend that never happened.
Okay. Oh dear. So, should we dive into this week in Destiny for the 15th of January?
I'm not sure it's safe to dive. You might want to take the ladder and just gingerly go in because I'm pretty sure you'll hit your head if you dive in.
I gingerly do everything, mate.
The pool is.
There's not much chance of me doing anything ungingery.
Well, my point is, I don't think that TWAB is deep enough to dive into. You're going to bump your head if you try.
Okay,
I think this is more of a kiddie pool. It's longer. Well, I'll say it's shorter than last week's, only because there's not 17 pictures of things people have submitted. But we do have a preview of Arms Week. We're updating our new player guide to get new lights through the story. A heads up on what's coming in Destiny 2 this weekend, which is Trials. I mean, is that not just what it is? And a reminder about the Bungie Foundation current Game to Give campaign, which is funny. I've seen more stuff about that from the various creators than I have from Bungie at all in the last few weeks. Going, hey, I honestly thought we were supposed to have Arms Week this week. I really thought.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I should. It was getting toward Wednesday evening. I was like, I really should log in and just do some of the Arms Week stuff before it ends, and then realized, oh no, there's nothing. There's Mayhem up this week, which that's nice. Again, once the matchmaking kicks in, but there's no. It really, it really is if there's not an event going on, it's what am I doing here? What am I hopping on to play for a few minutes? It really is that struggle, but yeah. So next week we get that. Yeah, so it's starting back January 27th, and this time it's all about bows. So whether you're trying to get some of the legacy bows purchasable from Ada in the shooting range, or trying to get the 2 new event weapons, will now be available to you. This Arms Week will be one to remember. In the Crucible, there'll be 2 playlists: your Medieval hardware and your Rumble hardware. Medieval hardware is 6v6 PvP, where only bows, glaives, and swords are permitted. Both Rumble hardware and Medieval hardware will also include the following modifiers. Your volatile mod weapons are enabled. No abilities or supers will be allowed. Weapons only. And you can say hello to the 2 new weapons: the King Orfeo, your precision frame arc combat bow, and the Heron, your aggressive frame void glaive. So yeah, are we excited? Are we pleased?
Sort of. I mean, I've had a look at some of the stats, but go on, Noble, you go first.
I'm excited because I like the no abilities and no supers PvP. That one always makes me happy when that one turns up.
But do you like it with the Stronghold Titan like I do?
Well, I mean, no, because I won't use that Stronghold Titan.
Actually, I mean, I suppose it'll probably still work the same way as it always works in PvP. When I block with the sword, it's yeah, you can try blocking with the sword, but that's not going to work.
I don't
try,
really
and we'll just laugh at you.
Yeah, I don't really use the Stronghold Titan because I think it's just stupid. But
it's
just I won't use it. I think it's just stupid.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
It's too much. I think it's excellent build, but I just think
team match. No hits below the belt.
It's too. it's too safe. There's no risk reward to it in my eyes. Well, there is a tiny bit, but not enough.
There's lots of risk and lots of reward. But
our
new bow, I'm going to tell you about our new bow, the King Orfeo. So its stats, its base stats, we've got an impact of 76, accuracy of 75, damage fall off is 30 meters, I guess, and 54 for ADS. Stability is 45, handling 56, reload is 40, aim assistance of 66, ammo generation of 52, zoom of 18, airborne effectiveness of 21. It's got a recoil of 78, and the draw time is 667. And it can roll with Impulse Amplifier, Pugilist, Successful Warm-Up, Explosive Head, Archer's Tempo, Shoot to Loot, and Surplus in column 3. In column 4, we have Swashbuckler, we have Jolting Feedback, Rangefinder, we have the Mega Neura, Precision Instrument, Rolling Storm, and Dragonfly. But it comes with a new Origin trait perk, which I don't think they detail in the TWAB, but it's called Nail Meets Hammer. This weapon is more effective against combatant shields. This weapon grants improved special ammo progress if it uses primary or heavy ammo, or improves heavy ammo progress if it uses special ammo. So what do we reckon about that one?
It's a bow.
It's still a bow.
I can't see myself using it a great deal. It's a bow. I'm not that struck on bows.
Can I tempt you with the new glaive, the Heron?
Yeah, see, now maybe.
Okay, so we have an impact of 95, range of 61, shield duration of 39, handling of 46, reload of 27, aim assist of 76, ammo generation of 52, airborne effectiveness of 10, rounds per minute 45, charge time 35, magazine of 5. And this can roll in your third column with Envious Assassin, Overflow, Lead from Gold, Repulsor Brace, Disruption Break, Replenishing Aegis, Proximity Power. And in your fourth column, you have Sword Logic, Ancillary Ordnance, Unstoppable Force, Binary Orbit, Unrelenting, Redirection, and Destabilizing Rounds. And again, you also have the origin trait of Nail Meets Hammer. So that might be pretty cool.
It's got some interesting rules available on it, hasn't it, at least?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to go for the Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds one.
Destabilizing Rounds one, yeah. I mean, you'd be a full Noctua on any Void weapon, realistically,
But then,
if that's available. But
if you get a couple of tier 5s that come with like Sword Logic on there as well.
There's a couple of possible rules in there that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, an Unrelenting on that could be fun. I mean, obviously you got the Repulsor Brace to stabilize it, but the Unrelenting for that little bit of health regen while you're just mowing through things, and then strapping detonators to their chest. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. And then the Nail Meets Hammer, beat things with sticks, blow them up, get health regen, and get more ammo out of it.
As well as thinking that
you've
got all that with because it uses special ammo, it helps create more heavy ammo, but it also rolls with lead from gold also.
Mm.
So those two could be nice going together as well. Who knows? Like I said, there's a few that sound like it could be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they've given us a mode specifically for these. I mean, it's PvP, which will automatically, turn off 3/4 of the people listening. But at least they're giving us modes where, hey, there's an event, and here's somewhere to take this. Here's somewhere to try it out.
Because no one go and play.
I mean, no one's going to run with either of these into Crucible unless they're already using bows or glaives. But if it's a mode where, okay, I have at least a chance of getting close enough to hit you with a stick, then at least there's somewhere to go. There's somewhere to take this. And that's the part that I'm excited to play with. Of just, or do either of these excite me? Not really, but at least, hey, I can try them out. I can swap them around once I'm in there. So that's at least interesting to me. And yeah, maybe I'll find, I've got a void build I want to. I've saved from I don't know how many weeks ago that I want to play with, and this gives me something to synergize with it.
And one thing that they don't mention in here is the Gizmo Weft, which was the grenade launcher that was secretly dropping in the Dawning, which is also going to be available again because it's an arms weak weapon. But this one, the Gizmo Weft, has the origin trait of Contending Cascade. So this weapon gains bonus handling and reload speed based on your longest chain of rapid final blows from any source. After achieving a less impressive record, final blows with this weapon create an elemental damage explosion. So you get a free damage explosion after all of that. And that can roll with Reverberation, Slide Shot, Blast Disruptor, Envious Arsenal, Slice, Air Trigger in the third column. And then we have Chain Reaction, Bipod, Aggregated Charge, Elemental Honing, Bait and Switch, and Hatchlings in the fourth column. So some of those are pretty good. How many? You said you got about 9, didn't you, Peroty? Have you gone through them?
I was deleting them to the point. Well, I mean, one it's the micro missile frame, like the mountaintop, which again, I've got the same problem as a fighting lion. I'm just not very good at it, so I'm not sure it's one I'll use. But yeah, I mean, I was, you said like they were secretly dropping. I was dumping them by the shovel full at one point. It just there was. They were handing them out. I think I've got 3 that I've kept that it told me, let's see, this one's got aggregate charge and blast distributor, high velocity rounds, and quick launch. And the other one is bipod, slice, high velocity round, and quick launch. So those are basically, once dim up, I had a pile, once dim updated and said, hey, here's the ones you should care about. I kept those 2 that was like, hey, here's the ones you should care about. Because I probably had a good dozen or more. Like they were really dropping just left, right, and center from gifts and return and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, Dim recommends Air Trigger and Aggregated Charge to me. It's like on the rolls that I've got, and I'm like, but surely Reverberation, final blows with this weapon increase the size of its detonation and improve duration with Chain Reaction and then the origin trait as well, the contending cascade as well. I'm like, surely I want all the explosions, and
yeah. Do I
obviously
want
not.
more things that go boom? Yeah. Some of the rules has been recommending. I'm just like, I mean, again, like it's not a weapon that I'm very good with anyway.
No,
I'm looking at the rules, going, this seems like I would want different things based on the kind of weapon it is. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like everything else, it's like it's the at least it's nice to have a guide. Obviously, it's not the end all and be all. Like you don't have to use those as Dim says they're quote the best, but at least it's something going. I don't I'm not going to remember what kind of weapon should roll with what things and what what kind of weapon should this bow have or this glaive have or this grenade launcher. I don't know what the best thing for that kind of thing is. So I'm glad there's at least some guidance out there. And I'm sort of in Noble's camp of going, we have too many weapon mods at this point, and I'm going, what does that do? What we're having the outlaw kill clip. Give me good old outlaw kill clip days. I understood what that was. It's like, what is this on every second Tuesday? I need to crouch down to one knee, and then my firing rate increases 10%. It's like so some of these is like a paragraph of what do you do? What do you do? How am I supposed to take advantage of this exactly?
You've got to hop on one leg while singing the YMCA and clapping your hands above your head while rotating 360 degrees before you fire your first shot to get a 15% damage increase. Why would no? Just stop it.
Okay, I will.
It's silly. Some of them are silly.
Some of them are, yeah. But I'm a bit confused at their list of refamiliarizing yourself with these bows. So we've got Raconteur, Whistler's Whim, Lunatata 4B, and Anesius, Hush, Lepathy, Tripwire Canary, and Under Your Skin. But looking through the database, none of those have kind of been updated to be part of the Tier 5 system. So I'm like, I've looked on...
They're just saying these bows also exist.
Yeah,
basically, this is the also starring selection of people in your TV show. We've got the 2 stars and also starring these 5 people that you may or may not remember from season 1. Yeah. I was looking at that too, going like, did we update these? And I mean, honestly, I'm looking at this list, going, but I'm just going to use the exotic bows. I'm like, why would I not reach immediately for the Trinity Ghoul, or why would I not reach immediately for one of the exotics?
Yeah,
not these legendary bows. Unless I can't for some reason.
But the confusing thing is they say refamiliarize yourself with the returning bows, and I think because they don't explain it, is that when Ada does come back to the shooting range, she has a selection of weapons that are past weapons, like she did with the hand cannons and other weapons that she had before, which were returning weapons that you could grab from her. And I think they just need to explain it a bit better in the TWAB to say, right, these weapons will be available. They're not upgraded, but you can go and get them from Ada if you haven't got them already, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's fill out your collections, sort of.
Yeah.
Like what Zer does, isn't it? He comes every week and he's like, here you go, I've got these. By the way, I've got these. They're not really much good to you because they're not in the new tiered system. But if you need them to fill out your collections, they're there.
Yeah. So those are the weapons that they've listed in the 12 will be available from Ada 1 guaranteed, because there are far more bows than that in the game that you can get or have got.
Yeah, I completely forgot she'll come in and she'll sell things. So now are we getting armor piece? Well, I guess before I ask my question,
not that I've seen in the database.
Yeah, because I was like, it'd be nice if we're getting some of that lustrous armor or something. But they also are bringing the volatile bow mods back that I mentioned above, and the ones available will be the shatter shafts. So arrows and bolts split into several projectiles after a short distance. Your tungsten bowstring deals increased damage at the cost of draw time and handling, releases an elemental explosion, matching the weapon when fully drawn. Kinetic weapons release a burst matching your equipped super. And jump shot. Drawing this weapon while in midair triggers increased damage, faster draw time, improved target acquisition, and dramatically faster movement speed for a short time or until you touch the ground. This effect is activated once per jump and becomes available again after a moment on the ground. Make sure you get your games in and experiment with the new options at your disposal. It'll end on February 3rd. So January 27th to February 3rd. So one full Destiny week, Tuesday to Tuesday. Yeah, I was sort of hoping they would say something about like the I think it was the Lustrous armor. I can't remember if Lustrous is the name of the armor set or the effect I'm looking for, but
No, it's
I was
the
sort of hoping
Lustrous
that,
armor set.
I was sort of hoping that would come back and give me a way to get more than my tier 2s and 3s that I have, and a tier a spare tier 4 or 2 since we got like the very first week, because I would really like to be photo galvanic and apply cauterize to things, because I have a Titan solar build that desperately would like some better armor from that. But
no, you got to wait for Solstice for that to come back. But before we get Solstice, we get the Guardian Games. So I think that's due March. If I'm looking back on the calendar, that's roughly around the time. But again, it could be delayed as well.
Who knows?
Probably.
It's coming.
He'll be here eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they've updated their new player guide, the recommended path for new players. So they're continuing to work more on that, which is good, because I know we said initially they're like, oh yeah, you're going to do this whole thing, and they're actually continuing with it. I'd be curious to see from a new player's perspective. I've been sort of watching, the videos to see, like, are there any new players, following the new player guide or trying to, or, people who said, hey, I tried the game and then saw there was this guide and I went back and read it. Does it actually, did it actually help your experience? Did it explain things, or is it just, because I know like the first week or two we looked at it, it was just so basic. It was basically like, here's how you move the controller, here's how you fire. Like, it was really, which I think there's some need for, but it was so basic in terms of a new player guide to this game that I'm not sure how useful it would be. But again, at least they're trying. At least they're putting something together, which they've needed for a decade.
It does look, if you go onto it, it does look like it's like an old school kind of manual. It's like, this is the game. This is the path that you should follow. You should follow this and do this. This is a rough outline of like the timeline missions. And then once you've done that, you need to do Shadowkeep, then go on to Beyond Light, then the 30th anniversary, the Witch Queen, Lightfall, the Final Shape, the Edge of Fate, Renegades, and so on and so forth. It's like, okay, yeah. Those books that you'd get and you go, yeah, I can do this without that. And that's why you don't have the manuals anymore.
Yeah. Shadowkeep activity to try: Altar of Sorrows, Nightmare Hunts, exotic quests available, The Journey, Death of Nightmares. Are all those actually available, guys? Can you actually play them? Are those? I know they have the link sort of for like more info, and I'm just picking Shadowkeep here randomly.
Yeah.
But just if I do click in here and I'm like, oh, we have Nightmare Hunts and Altar of Sorrows, does it?
Yes.
Does it tell me anywhere in this guide what those
how
are?
To do them,
how to play them?
How to do them, basically.
Bungie, I would like to see, if you're going to say, hey, here's 2 activities to try, I would like to see a little link on those names to say, here's what they are, and give me the 2 sentences about how they work, or just what they are. Hey, this one thing is basically like a strike, a quest. You go and you 3-player match made, and you go and you do a thing, and there's a particular set of weapons you can get out of it. Or, hey, here's Altar of Sorrows. It's a big, it's basically a big patrol. It's a big open world activity that's, anybody in the play space up to X number of players can participate, and there's this many rounds, and and it has this pool of weapons you can, or at least it has a specific weapon pool. There's things you can only get from here. It's like, I'm not asking for like a novella on everything, but just give me a little bit more. And again, maybe that's part of the plan. Maybe it's they're going to continue to improve this and increase. But it just seems like after so long, it's like, do we not have this already? Did we not write this when Shadowkeep came out, when you did have staff? I don't know. It's I don't want to be so negative about their new player efforts, but
no,
because at least it's happening. But it's just like. It's better than nothing. So, and I'm glad to see them continuing to talk about it every week in the 12 and have it. I'm hoping with Marathon coming out, even just the cross pollination of people who may not have been interested in Destiny, and Marathon may be their thing, drawing at least a handful of people toward Destiny, going, oh, hey, there's this game that Bungie's been running forever. It has these aspects to it. If you like this taste, you may also enjoy. So, it's nice to see them putting a little bit of effort toward the new player experience along with everything else.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll continue to improve.
There's a lot of information, actually, if you start following the links that are in that.
Okay. Yeah. I was sort of clicking through it the other day and just trying to pretend as a new player. Great, you tell me this activity exists. what is that activity? Why should I care? You can go play Trials. Great. What's Trials? Should I go play Trials?
No. Don't do it.
Well, maybe this week, because they're switching the Trials of Osiris map to Pacifica, starting on Friday, January 16th. So hopefully by the time you hear the show, there's still some time to kind of play that with the Cataphract GL3, the grenade launcher, as the weapon. And heavy weapon damage and ammo drops are being increased in all Portal activities this week. And I think maybe that includes Trials of Osiris, or maybe not. Who knows? Because it's under the same kind of heading of what's going on in Destiny 2 this week.
Which you're not going to tell people about what's going on this week or next week. They have to go to YouTube for that.
Well, no. We've had requests. We've had requests that I put this week in Destiny.
Is it coming back
to the show? Well, as requested. I mean, I took it out and I said, give me some feedback, and I got feedback of saying, no, we want to listen to like 5 minutes of you going, this is the rotations for this week. So I feel Beautiful. It's only my obligation to put it back into the show. And,
wow, you got lots of feedback.
What was the two?
Well, one of them said that it needed to be back, and the other one was like, no, don't put it back.
Who said no? Was that you?
Yeah, it was, exactly. Yeah.
Some feedback counts more than others.
So yeah, I'm going to put it back in now for people to listen to.
I think you should.
This is your weekly rundown for Destiny 2 Renegades, Week 8 starting on January 20th. Week 8 of Renegades will see no additional events take place this week, giving you another week to be able to complete anything outstanding before the next event goes live. Over in the Portal Crucible Ops this week will be competitive, control, and another Crucible playlist mode, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. Other non-featured modes of 3v3 Rift and 6v6 Relic can be found over on the Crucible Director. In the solo ops we have Skywatch, the Salt Mines, the Conflux, Creation, K1 Logistics, and Caldera, with a new solo ops Typhoon Imperator. In the fireteam ops we have one of the rotating reclaim missions, with this week being Conductor's Keep, Heist Battlegrounds Moon, and Defiant Battlegrounds EDZ, with the Sunless Cell Strike. Strikes added in week 2 of Renegades with the Birthplace of the Vile, Exodus Crash, Warden of Nothing, and the Arms Dealer. Also still in the fireteam ops are the Battlegrounds Behemoth, Core, Oracle, Foothold, Delve and Conduit, Expedition Nessus, the Strikes of Liminality, Hypernet Current, Insight Terminus, Fallen Saber, the Devil's Lair, Proving Grounds, the Inverted Spire, and the Glassway, Empire Hunts the Warrior, Technocrat and Dark Priestess, and Savathun Spire Offensive. In the arena ops are Season of Plunders, Catch Crash, Season of Loss, Astral Alignment, and Season of the Haunted's Nightmare Containment. In the Pinnacle ops we have the 3 dungeon layers, Pit of Heresy Beneath the Necropolis, Duality Nightmare of Goron, and Warlord's Ruin Locus of the Wailing Grief, with Onslaught Widow's Co-op, Episode Revenant's Contest of Elders, and the Coil. New to the Pinnacle ops we have the exotic mission Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic Waveframe Grenade Launcher as the main reward, and Episode Heresy's Dear Allies mission, for the Barradide exotic submachine gun. Returning exotic missions include Heliostat, with the Wolfsbane exotic axe as the main reward, Presage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, Node Override Avalon, with the Excalibur exotic glaive being the main reward, Starcrossed, with the Witchkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, the Whisper, with the Whisper of the Worm exotic sniper being the main reward, Kel's Fall, with the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun being the main reward, and Encore, with the Choir of One auto rifle being the main reward. Also in the portal is the new Vanguard Alerts tab, found in the Seasonal Hub, which consists of weekly challenges in Vanguard, Arena, Crucible, and Grandmaster Alerts. Over on the Lawless Frontier, the contested territory will start this week's rotation with Europa, and the Fire and Ice exotic mission will be Void Threat. On Kepler, featured mission 1 this week will be the Invitation, and featured mission 2 will be Gouge. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand, and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind One features Scorn enemies and the Plagues, Sigris and Veracus. The Ascendant challenge will be the Forfeit Shrine over in the Gardens of Vasilia. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. Nightmare hunts Fogoth, Fear, Ghoul, Rage, and Tanix Isolation. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Coradis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Runes will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. Dares of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Vex, Cabal, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Pathfinder armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 4. Fractithis, Chrysia Milo, Volpicula, Wolftone Draw, Iotona Draconis, Canis Major, Contingency Plan, Legal Action 2, Outrageous Fortune, Steel Syllabus C14, and Spoiler Alert. The Witch Queen Weekly Story mission is The Arrival, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on attack, with the Arc Auto Rifle come to pass and Goldmag Hive Ogre as the boss. The Lightful Weekly mission is Downfall, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex Incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. In the Pale Heart is the Exotic Class Item mission Dual Destiny, and the 12 Guardian Match-Made Excision mission, with a Grandmaster version guaranteeing you the Ergosum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Lost Sector rotation for this week will start with Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City, Excavation Site 12 on the EDZ, Concealed Void on Europa, K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon, Thrillerdrome on Neptune, the Conflux on Nessus, Metamorphosis on the Throne World, and the Broken Deep in the Pale Heart. All legacy raids and challenges are now available all the time, and at present there are also no featured raids or dungeons each week, but you can farm past raids and dungeons for their respective exotic weapons, with no weekly lockouts. Over on Kepler we have the Desert Perpetual Raid, and Desert Perpetual Epic Raid, with both versions dropping tier +3 loot, with the chance for the exotic rocket launcher Whirling Ovation to drop. Over on Venus, the new dungeon Equilibrium has the chance for the exotic combat bow heirloom and the dark matter crystal for the Praxis blade to drop. The exotic mission rotator will be Pressage, with the Dead Man's Tale exotic scout rifle being the main reward, the Season the Haunted, and opulent weapon sets, plus the Idolium Procurant armor set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. And that's it for the 8th week of Renegades.
There you go. And now we know what's going on next week.
Yeah. I almost feel like with the stuff that I do with like the legacy stuff, I feel the need now to kind of maybe go and work on a new player guide, because I do cover a lot of the stuff that is legacy stuff, and I used to explain it in a longer form video, like, you know, this is this, this is this. So I have got some of the assets lying around that I could probably use to help. But, you know, then that would take me away from playing the game that I love. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that.
But that sounds silly.
It does, you know. Would you spend hours making a YouTube video or coming up with some new merch for the show or playing the game? And it's like, so many things to do. So many things to do.
Exactly. And obviously merch should be the top one, and then it should be playing the game. He said it, not me. You know what I mean?
He said it just to tease all of us, but he did say the words.
He did. He does it on purpose. I'm telling you.
Yep.
And I reckon he's got merch and it's at home in a cupboard with a chain on.
That's the one who's always been asking about for a year, going, "What's there?" He says, "We don't speak about that one.
No, we don't.
That one doesn't exist. There's nothing there. There's nothing there for you. There's no sweets inside.
There's nothing there for anybody. It's just mine."
Indeed. But we still have Game to Give going on. The Bungie Foundation Game to Give 2026 has kicked off, and Lightkeepers are showing up in a big way to support the Little Lights. So in just 4 days, this community has raised more than 800,000. Wow. And it's continuing up until, I believe it was January 29th. Oh, yes. And again, they've got some pictures of the goodies that you can get for donating. And we put a link in the show notes last week of how to get to the Tiltify page. Well, I'll continue to put the links this week. So you can either start your own thing to raise some money for Bungie, or you can just donate some money. And yeah, there's some cool ship sparrows, ghosts, shaders, and other things available.
Yeah, you get many pretty things, and they're up to 1,029,000. Oh, it just upped it 1,029,961 at this point of their goal of 1.17 million, which I'm sure will be at very, very quickly. And yeah, they've got the continuing rotation of, you know, people doing their 2-hour slots on Game to Give trials reports coming up later on this afternoon. Yeah, but they have a whole schedule on their Game to Give page, which is linked from the 12, linked in our show notes, and, you know, from the Tiltify page. So, you know, if you've been following any of your Bungie creators, you know, and they've got a slot somewhere being featured, you know, they'll tell you what's happening, and, you know, you can donate, not donate, get pretty things, ships with toe beans. Yeah, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but there are many pretty things you could have. You can ride around in your ships and show off how cool you are.
There are things that you can tell people that they are interested in knowing, that they only find out on this show, because we don't skip it. It's your player support report.
We tell people, you know, we told you what's fixed, and now we're going to tell you what's broken to be fixed.
Mm.
So the Hunter Polar Wolf helmet is not displaying its ears with the hood down. I don't know why I find that funny.
You
It
get
just
no
seems like
ears.
of all the people, you have ears. Well, what if we put the hood down? Nope, no ears. Were the ears on the hood? Did we forget how wolves work? Inside
No,
you are on
what
are
happens
two
is
wolves.
you put the hood down and your ears got so cold they froze off.
Inside you are two wolves. One of those wolves has ears on its hood. One of it has ears on its head. You have to choose which is which. So yeah, hunters, you've lost your ears as a wolf. The Martlet pulse rifle turns the incorrect color when black shaders are applied to the weapon. So even Bungie doesn't know what color shader should actually be. I wonder what color it changes. The Covert Ranger cloak ornament does not properly move with the character model and physics. I think I would say a lot of the cloaks get stuck on the ground and do weird physics things. That's been in the game. Like I think as long as the game has existed, like, you'll see a hunter bouncing away and their cloak will just get stuck in the terrain somewhere, and it's very funny. I'm waiting for the day where they put in something to just snap the hunter back down to the ground. Like, oh, sorry, your cloak got snagged. That's why we say no capes. When some exotic armors are equipped, it is not increasing the new armor gear damage resistance stat when previewing the artifact. This is a display-only issue and exotics are applying their damage resistance, but not increasing the counter. So it's working, it just doesn't say so on the tin, trust us.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I did notice this week, the Dawning Oven is still present in some players' inventories after the event has ended.
I did go there and pretend like I was going to bake some cookies. I went, oh, they've taken all my ingredients.
Yeah, all my ingredients are gone. I can't bake cookies, but my oven's still there.
Yeah.
The description for the Vanguard Alert Challenges weekly objective incorrectly referenced general activity challenges in its description. The objectives can be progressed with the Vanguard Alert activity challenges or the Grandmaster Vanguard Alerts. So to do the Vanguard Alert things, you have to do Vanguard Alert activities, which Bungie knows, but they did not tell you. We've identified an issue where the Renegades campaign activities and Lawless Frontier jobs default to normal difficulty. Players can set the difficulty to expert when launching into these activities if they would like to earn greater rewards. Completing jobs on either difficulty will not impact the Legendary campaign completion triumphs. So if you're doing the Legendary campaign, you can do your Lawless Frontier stuff on either tier. It does not matter. But if you're playing it going, this seems really easy compared to what I was doing, that would be because it is, unless you specifically changed it and said, no, I want the struggle, I want the challenge. And finally, players encounter an endless black screen when launching into the Exodus Garden 2A Expert Lost Sector from the flag on the Cosmodrome. Let's try that again. Players encounter an endless black screen when launching into the Exodus Garden 2A Expert Lost Sector from the flag in the Cosmodrome. You launch the game and you just go into the abyss. I would say sometimes also fly into the tower. Sometimes you just fly into the darkness and you're never seen again, and you just have to change characters to come back out again. It doesn't happen often, but it happens often enough. Usually when I'm in a party with people, we'll go to the tower and we won't have gone to the tower, or we'll load an activity and my teammates will say, hey, we're doing this, we're going here. And I'm going, I'm in orbit. And I see you guys in orbit with me, but clearly you've left me behind and I'm just seeing a mirage. So yeah, those are the things we know about this week. And we have art, we have movies, we have a Huntrix running around posing all over the place with glaives and whatnot. And do we not have
No kitty cats.
Oh, a movie of the week is I was looking for the movie. There's a link on. There's a link to the movie on Reddit. Destiny 2 is way more fun in a big group.
That's very strange that they've done that.
Yeah, maybe because it's embedded in this Reddit post and not YouTube or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, but surely they could take a screenshot, put the picture in the thing, and then just make that the link. Could,
but did not.
Did not.
They
would have made it that slightly bit longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're excited to see us for Arms Week next week. Until then, please play the game, do something, because we don't know what's happening. Yeah.
So you guys have been playing the game this week, and a little bit of the game, I guess. I got told off by Noble. Noble told me to go to bed and stop playing the game. I know. It's like I've been up. I've done all my housework. and I'm now sitting down to play. I know it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, but I couldn't sleep. I had an allergic reaction. I couldn't stop sneezing, so I thought instead of waking everybody up, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm just going to get on with everything, and then once I've done that, I can then settle in and play the game. Because I was stuck for so long on the quest after you complete the campaign of going and doing Renegades stuff, because it said I needed to invade somebody, and I'd done that like 16 times. And it then said I need to complete priority bounties, and I'd done bounties all over the place. I'd done like the ones that were contested. I'd done the ones that were on the other planets that weren't contested, and it wasn't progressing. And I was like, what am I missing here? Is it a specific one? And I did the tracking thing. The tracking thing went, we're tracking it. Go to the map, and nothing has got that little green shield on it to say, right, you need to go and do this one. This is the one that you need to do. All it would show me is go to the Renegades planet, and then it would just go, ta-da! And I'm like, okay, where are you then? I couldn't find it at all.
Yeah, I don't think the tracking works like in the Lawless Frontier. Like, I don't think even when I'm trying to track like the work tasks, I can't remember what they're called now. The go do these things for your shipments. I'm like, great, I need to do a sabotage activity on Mars and Piker territory. Can you highlight for me which one those are? No, it absolutely will not.
No. So I'd been like, even on the Titan, I hadn't completed that part of the quest. And because I've now got through with my Warlock, I was now up to that step. And I thought, well, I'm just going to power it through. I'm just going to keep doing different things until it says I've actually done it. And now it's actually said I've done those. I think it was 2 that I needed to do. And now I'm on to the next step that just said I had to wait an extra day for it to reset automatically for my syndicate that I picked, and then that will auto complete to the next step. So that's where I was at. But yeah, Noble was telling me off for being up and playing. It's like, well, you're right.
It was 5 a.m.
Yeah. I didn't play for the rest of the day. I did my school run. I came home. I had to sleep because I managed to go out and get some allergy medicine.
He messaged me back and he was like, look, I can't sleep. I've got some real bad allergy things going on. So I messaged him and said, what's up? Was one of the kids happy? And he was like, yes. And it set off all these allergies because they were happy.
I'm not talking to you now.
The happiness in his household just brought him out in hives.
But I've kind of realised this week that I think Bungie have pushed the game way too far into the solo kind of arena, because even just playing the campaign on my Warlock, it was like I was playing like Tomb Raider, because there was no other interaction with any other players apart from having to do these other parts on the Renegade thing. But even that, I could have played that with bots or solo and just turned off invaders, and I'm like, this is a solo game. Just there's no difference from me kind of playing this than there is Star Wars. I know there is Crucible over here, but I could play Star Wars Outlaws and it's very similar. And it's like, not bashing either one. It's just like it's turned too much into a solo game because there wasn't anybody on my friends list, or when I did jump on, they were already in doing something else as a team. I'm like, okay, I'll just carry on playing solo.
Yeah, it is quite sad, isn't it? Like we all bought into this game, and it was like it was a fire team set game, and there was always everything was based around you having 3 people to go and complete something, or 6 people even to go and complete something. Yeah. And now you get on, like, the most rewarding thing you can do is literally play the game by yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't
land on this planet, interact with other people. Oh, there's someone walking by, and you work together to take down this big boss or this enemy. No,
yeah,
none of that happens anymore.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? Realistically, that we've gone from it being such a fun team-based game to this, like, no, sit there, play by yourself, because that's how we're going to reward you. I feel like now if you were to walk past somebody during, like a mission or something, you'd get no rewards at the end, because it'd be like, yes, but there was a person.
You spoke to somebody else. No, I'm sorry, you can't do that here.
Yeah, you can't have rewards anymore.
When I first started playing Destiny back when it first came out, I wanted more kind of solo things, because I was very introvert. I didn't want to kind of speak to anybody. I didn't want to join a clan. It was like I want to do more solo things. But because the game really forced you into joining clans and doing a lot more getting on the comms and talking to people and saying, right, we're doing this night for, because I think there was so many LFGs that you could kind of join after the game, outside the game, rather than the fighting find that we've got now. And it was, you had to put your name down and be selected and then go off and do the things. So it did force you to kind of speak to people and interact with people a lot more. Whereas the game now has kind of reverted just being this solo game that even Crucible, you could wander into Crucible solo in trials, solo in comp, solo in sixes, and it's like, yeah. They need to bring. I'm not saying make it hard so that you need to have two other people, but they need to bring the more the team play back.
Do you know what they could do with bringing it back, especially for Crucible? That'd be fantastic. Is a game mode that definitely depended upon you having two people to play the game with. Like maybe we got an event for an upcoming celebration / holiday where you had to have a friend to play the Crucible with.
Around Valentine's Day, maybe?
Yeah, would be around Valentine's Day, Peroty. Yeah, like maybe it could come with some really cool emotes that you.
No, but I think the problem is that they've implemented so much kind of like even in the portal, like you go to the portal and there are kind of match-made activities for some of these bigger things like the 6-player and the 3-player things that you can kind of just drop into. The same with the Crucible. Even when we had Crimson Days, I do remember there was an option to have like just a random person join you. Yeah, so
yeah. I mean,
I don't know how they get back from where we've got to how it used to be.
I mean, they could put Crimson Days in and just not give it matchmaking, and just tell people go and find somebody to talk to communicate with.
Well, I mean, I would say put it back in, but make sure it has matchmaking. I think part of the problem is there's not enough with matchmaking. I mean, every one of us sitting here, and every person, every Destiny veteran I've ever talked to, unless it may be, hey, a friend and I tried this game out back in 2014, but most of it's like, maybe I had a friend that played, or hey, maybe a buddy at work told me about it. Most of us are like, hey, I played this game and then I met people doing XYZ. I met people LFGing, or I met people because I was running, Crucible and I got a random friend invite, or I invited somebody and now we've been friends for the last 10 years playing. It's like, I just don't know. I don't know with the portal if that happened. Like just the opportunity for that doesn't happen as much. Like you're not, the opportunity to meet other players or do an activity enough times where you're like, oh, hey, I keep seeing this name. You seem, you enjoy what I'm enjoying. Let's see if we can be friends. Using the toddler method. I'm here. You're here. We should be friends.
Yeah. Yes.
And now, now it's like, okay, go do this thing. And it's either solo or it's, it's a difficult activity. And it's like, that's not, ground for building friendships. It's like, oh, we're going to go struggle through this. Like maybe it is, but like, if you've LFG, but if you're just like, let's hop on, let's go run a bunch of things. If I'm sitting here and just, the Mayhem playlist or the Gambit playlist, just doing the same thing over and over, you start to see the same names. It's like, hey, we could be friends playing this game. We could play together and at least just have a chat while we're running around and, making rank go up or trying to get some weapon to drop or whatever. Just,
I don't know if you guys saw the videos that were they were circulating this week, that I think it was Winter came across an old GDC presentation, and they said,
2013.
It's kind of horrifying that basically Bungie iterating the director into the portal in Destiny 1 and realizing it didn't work for the exact reason that we all kind of expect, and being forced to backtrack this. And this was in 2013, and then now we've got the portal. I mean, they even, if you watch it, they say it didn't work and it sucked the life out of the game. And I've seen a couple of people kind of go out talk about this. I'll link the Houndish video that I've got. Into the show notes. But
I've seen a couple of people. I saw Houndish talk about it. I think Houndish, Vase, Astrocross, I all saw cover this in some degree. Basically Bungie in 2013, you're basically going down the portal track and realizing all the problem the portal was going to have. And see, this is why it's important to have institutional knowledge and to know what you've tried before. Because when those people are gone, you think you have a good idea, and then no one looks back and says, yeah, we had this good idea once before. We didn't do it because it sucked. So maybe we should not do that.
Maybe it wasn't titled Portal under D1, maybe when they were doing their search for, have we tried this in D1 or at all in Destiny, it was called something else. And that's why when they did the search, they went, oh, we haven't thought about this before. Let's do this.
Right. There's no evidence we've ever had this idea before. And yet, yeah, people are able to come up with this video fairly readily going, yeah, no, we had this exact same idea. It was, again, the same problems as before, the same issues with retention and fun and enjoyability. And I saw that. I don't think I watched any of the full videos because it's like, okay, I know where this is going. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, hey, we tried this and it wasn't great. Hey, we're trying this again and it's still not great. It's funny.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there are a few things that the Portal has done well, especially like we were saying last week with the Vanguard alerts and the bounty system being kind of implemented into the whatever they're called now, the whatchamacallits.
I would say the alerts, not the alerts. Come on, brain.
Noble, you're here to talk.
Yeah, but
orders.
That's it. The orders.
There's a reason I have the game up partially to go, what is that thing called? I know how to get to it on the menu, but what are the actual name of it? Yeah. So basically, the things that they had in the game before and took out, but brought back. I mean, granted, orders I think are much better than bounties. I think orders is a better implementation of bounties than bounties were because I don't have to go anywhere. No. I just complete an order and then I get a new order and I can complete that one. And I love that there are tiers. I love that there's an actual incentive for doing the orders because then I can get legendary and exotic orders. But that was all. It's all stuff we had before that they removed. Which, granted, we eventually got better versions of, but unfortunately wrapped in the portal, which is, I mean, again, put game in the portal. Just put ship the rest of it into the portal. Come on, like you have all this content that nobody plays anymore. I mean, the Gambit playlist, when I guilded my title recently and was just playing some Gambit because it's fun and I enjoy it. That, again, I'm only looking for 4 people. But that playlist did not take a long time to match me. There is still enough people continuing to play. Granted, it may not be a large number, but I was getting, a different group of people. Unlike when I play Trials, a different group of people every time we go in. And there might be one similar name, but, there's enough people out there still playing this other stuff. Because they're having a good time, because it's fun, not because it's going to give them the tier 5, whatever. It's like, bring that into the portal system. Like, when does that happen? When do we move a bunch of this other stuff into the portal? Especially something like Gambit. Like, you don't need to change it. Just give it weapons that matter and are useful to me. That's all you have to do. But put it in there. It's just sitting out there going, we're just going to ignore this and pretend it doesn't exist.
I'm kind of leaning with the fact of not going portal anymore. Just get rid of the portal. And, keep some of the elements of the portal, but just integrate that back into the director.
I honestly feel like Demon was right a few weeks ago when he was talking about how we've had so many different people as the heads and the leads and everything else of Destiny. And, you've got an integration of about 7 different people's idea of what the game should be like. That at some point, somebody's just said, that thing there that they said wouldn't work, it'll work. These monkeys just play whatever we give them, because for years we have. For years we've just sat by and been spoon-fed.
Yeah.
Mediocre content, realistically. The same thing time and time again. Mm-hmm. And I honestly feel like they've just sat back and gone like that, they'll play it. And just put it out. And somebody's just gone, yeah, all right, fair enough then. And then at some point somebody else has then taken over and gone like that, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
So we need to make something to make it work, which has then been, like you say, like the orders, etc., have been a really good addition. And I feel like they've taken something that didn't work, probably because someone said, yeah, but we spent all that money on that. So we're going to use it, whether they like it or not. And then somebody else has said, well, actually, then to build on that, to make it so they might like it, let's put this here. And I feel like the portal is probably a collaboration of about, 5 people's ideas.
That started in 2013, apparently.
Yeah, that started in 2013 with a system that didn't work.
It started. Yeah. Again, it's like and that video they do go in to talk about sort of how they got to the portal, what decisions they made that sort of led them to this. Because like what they were showing it basically wasn't the sort of portal as we have it. It was you're you're out flying in space, sort of in that, like the loading screen when you load to an activity in your ships to sort of beep up and out there in space. And then it had the menu below that of like, here's the, strikes and trials and crucible and, the things you just select from there. So it wasn't quite so much of a like go into the menu, go over here, but it was still the same kind of, we took this thriving, the universe that we play in to, oh, here's a bunch of menu items. Here's a bunch of colored boxes we can click on to go to the next activity. Like you weren't traveling to a planet, you were selecting an activity and going to it. It really, after so much time in the director where I'm out in the universe and I'm traveling from planet to planet. I mean, I remember they were talking about like in D1 when you would unlock Venus, when you'd see things upcoming that you didn't have access to yet because the story of the game hadn't gotten there. Like I miss some of that. Like I miss sort of seeing like what's coming next, what I'm going to have in the portal. It's just there's no sense of where I've been, where I'm going, which I think they also talked about. Like there's no you can't really look back and say, oh, here's all the things I've done to get me to this point. It's just I've clicked on this menu and I've run this activity 1,000 times over and over and over again.
Yeah. I do like the elements of the portal where you can adjust like your banes and your buffs and your debuffs, but I don't want that on everything. If you were said, we're going to implement this maybe in the strike playlist. So if you want to kind of improve your rewards in that strike playlist, because let's face it, it was just a bog standard playlist of, you could get a drop and it might be something decent, might not be. But if you were able to tweak it to say, right, I'm going to take my pre-made fire team in, we're going to put this on, this on, this on, this on, and it's going to up our rewards, and we're going to get tier 5s if we do max it out to an A+ rating. That would be interesting, but I don't want it on everything. And I think that's the problem, is that they've just gone, all right, we'll blanket this across the whole thing. You can put your own things on here and everybody will love it. And it was fun for a while, but not on everything. They need to go back to giving us a new strike, giving us lost sectors on planets and things. I mean, rather than fiddling about with updating what the portal looks like each month, have a standard portal and just go with that. If you're going to keep the portal, lost sectors, strikes, crucible maps, gambit maps, just the stuff that was important to us that kept us kind of coming back for each kind of expansion and things like that. It's like,
I'd like to see a lot of things return to how they've done it, even not that long ago. We got the Vex Incursion come with. Which one did Vex Incursion come with?
Neomuna and all that.
Yeah, we got that. Why haven't we? Vex Incursion was really popular. Why didn't we keep that sort of thing rolling for us to be able to go and pull exotics out of, but just move it yearly with the updated place? So, right now, why haven't we got the Vex Incursion on Kepler? Maybe not a Vex one, but
yeah, right.
An
iteration of something like that
on Kepler. Why haven't we kept going with things that were popular instead of saying, no, we're going to scrap that, and you can just keep leveling up Rahul until you've hit a certain level, and then you can just buy it. Well, how boring is that? Again, that's taken away from interaction, because you're not going to a place and you're not interacting with people around you to get the Vex Incursion type event completed. Again, it's just pushing that solo thing, isn't it? Because the way you get the most rewards is playing solo. So the quickest way to level Rahul up is solo.
Yep.
That's boring.
I also think that they give away too many exotics. I don't want an exotic on my reward track. I don't want an exotic to be the first thing that I get off that reward track, and I don't want it to be on the free track either, like at 30 or 40 or whatever it is. I want it in the game. No, I want it in the game, and I want it to be able to be exciting when an exotic drops, to be, oh, am I going to get an armor piece, or is it going to decode into the new exotic? It's just there's too many things that are just like, oh, we'll give you this. Here's an exotic mission. It's like, that's all right, yeah, but once I've got it and I've done it back through to get the catalyst for it, it's like I don't go back in there. It's like, what it's kind of. I understand it. It's content, but it's wasted content. Whereas when you gave us the lost sectors, there was a reason to go into the lost sectors on a rotation, because on a specific day you would get boots or you would get chest pieces to drop, and it would be a random roll of whatever it is. And to take that away and just give you the exotic engrams and just go, right, you can go to Rahul and decode this. It's like,
yeah.
I get it that you want to try and give everybody access to everything, but that's not the fun. It's not fun, kind of, just because if I want to get everything, I'll get everything, and then it's just like, yeah. But there's still kind of, when you play your raids, that you still have a chance for those exotics to drop, and the dungeons, I suppose, as well, for those exotics to drop. But they've even upped the chances of people getting those when you kind of play those, which is fair enough. But that's what it should be like for all the exotics.
Yeah.
And I mean, when we've talking about the portal, they've really restricted what players have access to with the portal, because when we had the director and we had the Vanguard playlist that's kind of stripped out, we still have Nightfalls in there. I don't understand why we have Nightfalls in the Strike playlist. But when we had that before we had the Edge of Fate, you could go and play Onslaught, and that would be on a rotation of daily, and it would be different locations for each day. Or maybe it's every 3 days. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it did rotate. We had Moth Yards, we had Cosmodrome, we had Midtown, we had Last City, Vostok, and Fellwinter's Peak.
Yeah.
It's like, we now get a rotation each week. It's either Midtown or Widow's Court. It's like, well, where are the other ones that we had?
Yeah. Why have we gone from having 7 to having 2?
We've taken those out to retool them. Please expect them coming back the 5th of Never.
No, but they never said that they were taking them out to retool them and put them back in. They've just gone, right, you're having Onslaught Widow's Court and Onslaught Midtown.
Yep. Yeah. Because we've taken them out, and it's like the strikes they've removed, the Crucible list they've removed. They're just, I mean, it took us half a decade to get the one Gambit map back in that they took out. And even that I've seen so rarely. It's almost like, is it really in this game? Like, did I imagine all this?
You forget it's back when you see it. You're like, yeah, that's back.
Yeah. I've gilded my toe. I've played 50 or 60 rounds, and I've seen it 3 or 4 times, maybe. Like, it just, it almost feels like a special. It almost feels like an RNG weapon drop. It's like, you've played 60 of these other ones. Now you get to play one over here. You've earned the right to see this map now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, I mean, like you say, it's the same with PvP, isn't it? We've got how many missing maps still from PvP? Like Emperor's Respite that they took out. That must be the best part of 5 years ago now also. You know what I mean? Never to be spoke of again.
Maybe it's been taken out with, like, the Red War, and just they can't find it again, so they're just going to ignore that it was there.
Yeah. Somebody's walking around with it in the lint of his pocket. Like,
we don't acknowledge this map. We don't acknowledge this code. This never happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just stupid to me that we've had all this content and it just doesn't go anywhere, And if you have lost it, if it is just gone, just tell people. Just be like, look, someone made a boo-boo, and it's gone. Whoops.
Yeah, just
instead of it still being the case of, well, you told us you were just going to, freshen them up and make them a little bit better for the 6v6 experience, because obviously, like, Emperor's Respite was designed to be ran on 4v4,
right?
Because that came out with the base game, didn't it?
Make it a Gambit map. Put it in Gambit, you cowards.
Yeah, make it a Gambit map. That'd be fantastic, actually. But like, just admit what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, if it's gone, it's gone. But don't leave us sat here for 5 years going like, well, are we actually going to see Emperor's Respite ever again? Because actually, I quite liked Emperor's Respite. It was nice. I thought it was a fun map. There was lanes on it. There was short sections on it. There was, close counters on it. I thought it was a fun map.
Yeah, no, it was a really good map, and we're just never.
Now we're never going to see it again.
Yeah, just never again. Sorry. Just we decided that this isn't worth our time for you all to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my only thing that I've kind of watched this week. Was I watched that about the GDC thing, and I was like, oh, I haven't watched anything else this week. I've played.
Yeah, there really wasn't. I mean, there again, like I saw 3 or 4 different takes on that. There really wasn't a lot this week. I mean, I was going back just over what I watched or intend to watch, and it wasn't. I mean, there are a couple builds people have put out that I'm interested to try, but haven't really had a chance to put together yet. But I mean, which is nothing, nothing incredible, nothing, like, oh my god, you must try this immediately. Just like, oh, again, like there's a Void Titan build I want to play with, and people are, again, the Khepri's Horn build I talked about last week or week before. Just, some interesting stuff, but like none of it's like, oh my god, this is end game top tier. It's like, this seems like fun. I'd like to play with this. I mean, I got on this week because I wanted to play some Mayhem, because Mayhem was up, and it's like that's fun.
Was it real Mayhem or was it pretend Mayhem?
It was Portal Mayhem.
Exactly. So it was real Mayhem then.
So whichever version that counts as.
Yeah.
So I read a lot more than I watch.
Yeah.
And I did see something from Aztec Ross basically saying that Destiny really needs to do something before they lose him, because with so many games coming out in the last year, that are half the price of Destiny and are delivering a much better experience for the player, it's getting harder for people like Aztec Ross to create content for the game, stay positive, and feel like they're actually, getting something out of it. Because obviously, as the player base plummets.
Yeah, I mean, and he is the 10,000-pound gorilla. I mean, to be fair, there's Astacross and there's everybody else, and everybody else is a distant second. I mean, distant. Yeah. I remember, just different creators talking. It's like look at his numbers. He pulls numbers, and then everyone else is also there. And I was kind of wondering, to the point, because I mean, I've seen him branching out more. Because it's like you can only do this for so long, and justify doing it for so long before you're like, I can't. Am I having fun? Am I, what can I do at this point that hasn't been done and that's enjoyable? I mean, that's the thing. Is everyone, I won't say everyone, because I hate when people say everyone. But creators are out here. They're trying to make a living. They are also playing this game for fun. They're not just playing the game because it's a profitable thing to play. It's like, I also want to have fun doing what I'm doing. It's not just, I get to play video games for a living. But if you're like, I have to log on to Destiny again and do what? It's like I've done everything that can be done at this point. Like, there needs to be something else for me to enjoy. And if there's nothing left to enjoy, it's like, even if you are the creator, I mean, what's left? And there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of good games on the horizon, that are offering a lot more for a lot less, and that that are not 15 years long in the tooth, having all the problems that we've talked about to death.
Yeah, and I get his point, because like, it's not only is it all that, but it's also man's livelihood.
Yeah.
It's how he makes his money.
It becomes difficult when it is your livelihood.
Yeah.
And not just a hobby.
Yeah. And if he's not making money out of the game anymore, because this nobody's interested, so nobody's watching his content, so therefore his revenue is plummeting just the same as the player base is.
Yeah. Yeah. It still needs, because again, it's not just him, holed up in his home office playing video games. He has a whole team of editors and moderators. Yep. He is a small business. He has a whole collection of people that help him be what he is.
Yeah,
you have to be able to support.
He may be Aztec Ross. But Aztec Ross it's a business.
Yeah, right.
It's not a person. It's a business.
Yeah,
and
and
he affect that man's business.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and to be clear, he is obviously, he's not the only one. The people who you see them streaming 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever. There's still all the extra that has to go on. I mean, Fallout talks, talks to and talks about his editors and stuff all the time, as well. Just they are businesses. They're the one. They're sort of the they're the face. It's like the nightly news. They're the newscasters. They're the one in front of you, reading you the stories. But then there's the researchers, the editors, the fact checkers, and all the other people in the background, and allowing them to do what they do. Yeah, these are all small businesses at this point, and you need to be able to pay those people for that to persist. And when the game is doing when the game's at the point where the game is, where if you can't find people to play Mayhem because there's so few players, content is also, who's around to watch the stuff still. What have we not seen at this point?
Yeah, it's getting. Yeah, I mean, I know obviously you guys drivenly try to stay positive, but like I don't watch videos. I only read things. So yeah,
that's fair enough.
That's what I read this week, and it's getting, to me, it's getting sad when you're starting to see things like that. You know what I mean? Because like it's not fun times. And like I know when Renegades came out, what was coming out, I remember Demon asking me and saying, "Do you think this is going to be the thing that is going to bring people back?" And I said, then, like this might be good for the Star Wars community that play Destiny, but is it going to be a long-term fix? No. And I feel like when it first came out, everybody was like, this is amazing.
Don't get me wrong, it is amazing. It is amazing, and it's a good expansion to the game. It is a really good expansion. It's good fun. But the problem is, I think that there's too many people that have been turned away before this. Yeah. And that's the problem.
I feel like it brought the people back that were Star Wars fans, and they came back and they played it, and they were like, yeah, this is good fun, this. And then 2 weeks later, they were like, wait, this was good fun because we enjoy the Star Wars aspect of it. But at the end of the day, this is still Destiny, and it's still the same stuff. And it's actually...
And it's quite hard for Destiny to compete with a lot of other games now that are coming out.
Yeah.
Like AAA stuff. I mean, but it has survived quite a few Destiny killers, including Anthem, which closed its doors.
That's now gone, hasn't it?
Shut those servers down entirely.
Yeah, but it has always been said that the only Destiny killer that will ever exist will be Destiny, and I feel like it
came close. It came close.
It's done its own damage here, and reverting itself. It can only be by itself. No other game was ever going to kill Destiny. They were only ever going to kill it themselves, whichever way you put it.
I do think that they are. I think they are putting a ton of effort into Marathon, and that is half the problem for Destiny and Destiny players, is that there's the amount of effort that's going into that game to get that out and be a good game for people to play has had a knock-on effect to the game that we love. So
but I also need Marathon to be good. I need Marathon to survive. I need Marathon to be a second revenue stream for this company. For all the time and the money and the effort that Marathon has taken away from Destiny, there's only, at this point, either you're going to be playing Destiny or you're not. Like, I don't know, again, other than younger people coming up, like starting to play games, but I almost feel like are you going to step into Destiny at this point in its life cycle? Or of all the things out there to play, it's like, is this the thing you're going to start with? And I don't know if that's it. But I mean, I need Bungie to be successful, and I need Bungie to have Destiny be a little less life and death, because it's great when it's life and it's horrible when it's death. I need Marathon to be another thing they can have to be successful, to grow this company, to make Sony happy. Like I really hope it does well, and I really hope it finds an audience. I mean, it seems like if there were ever a time, now that Arc Raiders has sort of proved this is a viable, thriving market, and Arc Raiders is out there, I think from what little I've seen about Marathon, I haven't watched their teaser video thing this week, but from what little I've seen people talking about it, it seems like they learned a lot, and it a lot of the things that people said, hey, you really need to do this, they've done. So I'm really hoping it's good. I'm really hoping it's successful. But I don't know. I mean, Destiny is such a unicorn. It was such this live service, MMORPG, fantasy, roleplay, everything game. Then everyone's like, oh, we're going to make one too. And are any of them left? I mean, Anthem is now officially shut down. They shut the servers off. It is a unicorn, and it's had a really long life, but there's a time for every game to come to, not to come to an end, but there's a time for every game to stop being the thing. And I want Marathon to do well because I want Destiny to be able to continue to do well and to get through this fallow period of where it is.
Yeah, I think even as Destiny players, we need Marathon to do well, because if it doesn't, it's the knock-on effect comes on to Destiny. Because if one fails, the other's going to feel the brunt of it even more so. Because, financially, they've got to keep going, haven't they? So if the money that they pour into Marathon just fails, it's got to come from somewhere, hasn't it? The recoup, and the recoup is going to come from Destiny.
Yeah. Or the knock-on effect is going to be on Destiny because they'll lose some of the studio and
even more than they already have.
Yeah. But then, you don't know what Sony's going to do with it after that. Sony might just go, right, that's it. We're taking complete control. We'll keep you lot. We're going to add more people. This is how we're going to run it. It's going to be part of Sony Studios, and that's it. No more Bungie.
Sony could step in, do all that, and it make it a million times better.
Or a million times worse.
Because a million times worse, because it's Sony.
Honestly, Sony bought Bungie because they wanted more Destinies. They wanted more long-term, live service, real-world games that live and breathe. And again, where's the list of successes after that point? Before and after Destiny, before and after the acquisition. I know there's a laundry list of canceled projects from Sony that were going to be that were supposed to be, not Destiny killers, but things that were living in that same world where you could invest your life into and that be your game. And I think that's the other problem is like these companies, I think they're all still partially living in that 2020s mindset where people were playing more things because they couldn't go anywhere a lot of places.
Yeah.
You were inside, you were consuming all this content. And there's also there's only so many games you can make your game. There's only so many live service games you can keep up with. Unless you're playing 8, 10, 12 hours a day professionally, no one can play 2 or 3 live service games. There's not enough time in the day in their lives to play 2 or 3 live service games. No. It's like you pick one and maybe you dabble with some other stuff, but like there's not, no one's playing World of Warcraft and Destiny and Arc Raiders and and Fortnite to a high level. Maybe they're dabbling in some of this, but no one's playing these to the numbers that these companies want to see and maybe projected they could get to, which also was never going to happen.
Well, no, because it's never been a secret. Bungie have wanted you to turn Destiny on and then sit there for 8 hours a day, turn it off and go to bed, then wake up the following day, turn it on.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, they don't want you to play anything else. They don't want you anywhere other than in their game, which, fine. But I do think, like you say, it's starting to get to the end of people being happy to do that. I mean, there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing with Arc Raiders at the moment about it having a lack of content. It's like, well, it's a small game, but at least you can go out and you can play something else.
Yeah,
Destiny.
There's a limit.
Yeah, Destiny's a small game within a large game because obviously they've limited it quite a lot with the Portal, haven't they? You know what I mean? And there's still probably a Portal 2 left out of Destiny's current Portal. You know what I mean?
Least,
you could create another Portal, couldn't you? Realistically, with what's been left out of the current Portal.
Yeah, you could create an entirely different game with just what they've removed from this game.
Yeah.
And I don't mean D1. I mean there's a D1 and a half with the Red War and the things like up to call it Lightfall, call it wherever you want to draw that line. There's enough content there to have an entire other game.
Well, I mean, if you think to all the seasonal stuff we got left in Destiny 2, is it Shadowkeep to now? So we've got Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, and I can't even think of the name of it anymore. The one with
Forsaken.
That's it. Yeah, Forsaken. All left out of the game, and obviously the expansions that came with Forsaken. So like,
Cyrus is 2017, Warmind 18, Forsaken 18, Shadowkeep 19, and then Beyond Light. Yeah, so we've got Shadowkeep 2019.
So even that list. has just missed out because it's not got in the expansion that was obviously the Ada expansion. It's not got. Was it Season of the Drifter?
Season of the Drifter.
Yeah,
and Season of
Opulence.
Yeah, I mean all the seasons, all different ones. Chosen, Risen, Seraph, Defiance, Echoes.
No, I mean the 3 that came with the year.
Oh yeah.
Forsaken came out. There was the Ada one, wasn't
there? The Black Armory one, yeah.
Yeah, then there was the Season of the Drifter, and I'm sure there was another one, but I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But that's our point. I mean, we've got. Yeah, I mean that's 5-6 years of content that no longer exists. Basically 2017 to 2020, you call it. All that stuff is gone, and
that is a game. That's 3 years worth of game. We're all very happy to sit and play at that point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's a lot of game missing there.
Yeah, they've taken an entire game out of the game.
Yeah. And we've still got stuff left out of the Portal. So we've got a Portal 2 with what's left out of the current Portal, and probably another 2 Portals with what they've removed from the game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to this game. I mean, I think that's a problem they've always had, is how people don't play the old stuff because there's no reason to. I mean, even before the Portal, it's like that's what I remember them saying. We're gonna do the Destiny content vault because basically you play this stuff once and then you play it never again. No one is touching all of this stuff. For all the times we've mentioned Red War campaign since then. Are any of us would any of us have gone back to play the Red War campaign? Like, not necessarily, but it doesn't mean that nobody is. Again, if you're going to onboard people to your game and then not have those, then say, hey, we're going to start with a story. We're going to start with chapter 7. You don't need to know what happened in chapter 1 through 6. That's unimportant.
Oh, you know what it was?
7.
They got too caught up with the whole Star Wars thing and went, well, we're going to start with episode 4. So we will maybe go back to episode 1, 2, and 3, but it is there. There's a hint that it was there.
Yeah.
We're starting in 4, 5, and 6. We're working on 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, and 3. We don't really need to talk about those. No. Nothing important.
They were there. They were there. There was some hints about what actually happened. It depends what book you read. If you're reading the Legends version or if you're reading the canon version, who knows?
I also think it's sad, like Demon was saying earlier about not having so many exotics and whatnot. I just feel like it's really sad for those people that went out there and were like, right, this raid, I need the exotic from this raid, and I'm going to complete it enough times until I get the exotic from this raid. So they went out and they did 60, 70, 80 completions of a raid trying to get the exotic weapon from it, to finally get it, to then 6 months later, the Bungie say, well, I know you've got it, but now we're going to put it in a kiosk and you can put your 50 pence in. You can get it like a Kit Kat. And it's really, come on.
I'm going to think of that every time now. I go pick up my new exotic and think, oh, Kit Kat, piece of candy. Piece of candy.
Just rolls out of there like a Reese's piece. You know what I mean? It's just so sad, man. Tarabar just sat there in vending machine like, please, somebody, please.
That was definitely one thing that kept you going in Destiny 1 was you log on every single week. You would do your nightfalls on every single character, not necessarily just to get the crown that glowed, but you would be trying to get exotics to drop, especially like the Galahorn, which had like a 0.0.0.1% of chance dropping anywhere.
Yeah.
And you would do your nightfalls. You would then be able to go off and do the raids. I think that was the only other thing, wasn't it? That you had a chance for them to drop any encounter. And you could get the raid exotic, but you also wanted the Galahorn. It was that chase of, am I going to get the Galahorn? Oh no, I got a Suros regime instead. Okay, well I haven't got that one. Yeah, that's cool. But it was that chase of like not having all the exotics thrown at you all at the same time. It's like, oh, I've got all these new exotics. Like, how do I get the new exotics? Oh, you know what you do? You just play through the campaign. We'll give you an exotic. Oh, you've got one on that reward track. Oh, you've got an exotic mission. There's one in there as well. It's like, I don't want that. I want it. I want it in the game and to be scarce in the game because it will make people play your game because it's a fantastic. But imagine if the Praxic Blade
chase
was the chase this season, that you had a chance to get a lightsaber to drop, not from the exotic mission, and it was like, oh my god, we're going to be playing raids. It's going to be available, to chance to drop in the raids, the dungeons, nightfalls. People would play. There isn't that chase anymore, and that's half the problem. Is that there isn't a chase of something that people want. There's a direct route for things to people to go and get, but that's it.
It was even Destiny 1. It was even down to the freer. You remember the freer coins that you used to be able to get, and you got a stack of them, didn't you? And you consumed one, and it increased your chances for an exotic drop for like an hour or something like that. But you weren't guaranteed one. It just increased your chances.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I know we've said it. I still miss playing a PvP match, playing Iron Banner or whatever, and seeing at the end of the match who got what. Seeing that, jokingly, that scrub in my fire team on the bottom of the list, getting the Galahorn to drop, getting an exotic, all the top players, they got a helmet, they got a whatever.
This man at the bottom has a minus 1.2 KD.
Yeah, exactly. And you get the Galahorn to drop. Like it was fun. It was silly. It was just, I think there's just, it's like, again, I feel like the fun has been sucked out of the game. I mean, for all the reasons we've talked about, but
given that aspect of what you're talking about there, could you imagine if they did that now? They were doing that then, but that was 10 years ago. If they did that now, with the amount of complaining there is in this game about, it's not rewarded enough, could you imagine how many people would complain if they could see what the other person was being rewarded with? Like, why did that man get that when I got this and I did this and I killed 16 people more than him during this strike and I should have got that and not it? Oh,
they're going to complain anyway, so who cares?
I mean, yeah, true, but
I mean, in my mind, it's like Trials in Destiny 1. It was an event. It was something for people to look at. It was something for people to look at and laugh at and share and put in their Discord with their buddies, going, "Hey, look what I got!" I absolutely got my 0.01 KD and I got this exotic to drop. Look at me! Like it was just fun. Exactly. It was fun. It was silly. It was. I mean, it was a reason to talk about the game, even in a positive light, even just to have something, and now I'm sitting here taking screenshots of people when I load in to Crucible matches going, look at our silly outfits. We're matching beautifully. Like there's, it's like, I don't know.
Look at this guy's silly name.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just not that serious.
Yeah.
And I feel like they tried to make Destiny serious, and it simply is not a serious game. It's a very silly game that people try to take seriously. But it's not. We're just here to have a laugh and have a good time. Yeah, maybe you're trying to do a hard thing. Maybe you're trying to get through raids and, go flawless and whatever. But like, it's a silly game. It's never going to be, a professional, try-hard PvP esports game. It's a silly place to go throw space magic around with your friends.
Yeah. Well, now we've bashed Bungie and turned people away from the game even further.
Yeah.
Are there any videos that you want people to watch this week? Because I've got just that one.
They're not listening to us. If you're not playing Destiny, why are you here? Some people are watching Fallout Zerg video, or at least commenting, I haven't played this game in this many years, but I still never miss a Fallout Zerg video because it's a minute and it's wonderful. I think the only thing I had seen was, Lego La Flash did one as I try to find it. Oh,
was that on the sidearm? Yes, I did watch that one.
Yeah, the compact. What is that stupid thing called?
The Void Compact Defender?
Yeah, the Void sidearm Defender. Is that what it is? I was like, I had the link open and then I apparently closed it somewhere. Now, of course, I can't find it again. But yeah, basically saying, hey, this is a really good weapon and here's why. Everything else was basically the 2013. Compact Defender outperforms every primary in Destiny 2, and here's why. And he says it's the highest legendary base DPS weapon in the game. So there you go. And I think that was really it in terms of Destiny that I watched this week.
No, but we know you have none. So
No. I just had the one thing that I read that set us on Destiny bashing. So
fair enough.
I'll
So I suppose it's just time to thank you and end the show then. Thank you, Noble,
you're more than welcome.
for being here and being also a patron.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Wart Wizard. Thank you, Golden God 1562. Thank you, the Man Conan from Texas. Thank you, Farrell, for all being our wonderful grenade throwers. And thank you, Renard Calant, Toby and Extraordinaire, collecting all of the cat cosmetics. We'll have to have him on at some point, Demon, to get a full accounting of the best cat cosmetics in the game, because he's going to have all of them. He's going to have every last one. He is basically going to be cat incarnate.
Yep.
So, yeah. Thank you for all our lovely patrons who've said, we're still here. We're still playing this game because we're still having a good time. We're playing dress up. We're finding funny names because, you got to make your own fun. And thank you for listening to us as, you're here and you can hear me. And if you're not hearing me, then you're not listening to us. What are you doing with your life? Because you should. But thank you for joining us. Your Titans, are they Peroty and Nitedemon? Is it Noble? Which one of us is the secret hunter? Maybe we'll do a drawing. We'll do a drawing to figure out who's the secret hunter, who has been all the time.
Don't make me do a drawing. Stick that.
Yeah.
Draw?
I mean, if we do a drawing, Demon's going to win. That's obvious. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're everywhere. Just search Two Titans and a Hunter. You can email twotitansandhunter@hotmail.com. You can leave comments on YouTube videos telling you how much you enjoyed Old Men Yelling at Clouds, Noble's participation, or, anything else you want to. You should leave comments. Demon works hard. He tells you what happens each and every week, what to play, what to look like, what dress up you can do. He has you covered on all the things over on YouTube. You can get all the show notes and all the links we talk about, twotitansandhunter.com, or just, scroll down your podcast player. They're all there in the lovely show notes. We tell you all the things all the time. If you want to join the auto dance troop, threaten us with a good time, throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTAH. If you're looking for more casual coffee-based encounter, that's ko-fi.com/twotitansandahunter, and twitch.tv/twotitansandahunter, because you never know what we're up to. We never know what we're up to. But maybe you can join us. And until next week, boys, tell the people goodbye.
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 Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
And if you've been good, maybe you'll get a treat from the last cabinet.
No treats.